Tennessee at Florida. To be honest, I don't know what the exact line of this game is. It keeps bouncing around. Is it 7, 6.5, 6.5? I don't know exactly where it's at, but for the purpose of this show, we're gonna act like it's at 6. Because also to you viewers, I don't know when you guys are gonna be watching this. So for all I know, it's at 6.5. For all I know, it's at 5.5 when you guys are watching this. But yeah, let's talk about Tennessee, Florida. This is a gigantic game. It blows my mind that people are not talking about this game at all. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I mean, this can go. I think this can go so many different ways. I think this goes so many different ways because I don't think either team has looked particularly awesome these first 2 weeks. I don't think either team has. So, what are you going with?
I've been back and forth on the game. Obviously, when I can't figure it out, I'm just gonna take the better team in it. I'm gonna go Tennessee. Obviously, I think they're the better team than Florida. I think the upside for Tennessee is this could get ugly. I don't think Mertz, who's actually played pretty okay for Florida, he hasn't been the problem there. Um, I think Tennessee has, if they decide to click or not decide, if they do click with Joe Milton and the talented receivers and on that team, they could blow out Florida, obviously. And Florida has the athletes for sure to hang with them, but I think Tennessee has the upside to blow them out. Well, that's why I'm taking Tennessee in the points here, -6. But again, I can see this going either way. I could see Florida getting a win, and that would be massive for Billy Napier and his momentum on the recruiting trail, and then finally putting it on the field and getting a marquee win at home against top 10 team, or close to top 10, I guess top 11. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be I just can't put my faith in Florida to cover after watching them. I don't see it. And obviously Tennessee hasn't looked great either, like we talked about. But I think Joe Milton starts to get a little bit better as the year goes on and eventually starts clicking.
I'm fading you hard,
Again, wow.
like hard, like
No,
absolute
not
beta-tron. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'm taking Florida to cover, and I'm taking them to win. I'm taking them to win straight up. I get it that it was McNeese State. Dude, I think Utah's defense is just that good, right? I think Graham Mertz has looked fine. Those wide receivers struggled against Utah, of course, but another week under their belts. Okay. I think they're gonna run the ball, and I think they're gonna do it effectively. They got 2 running backs that are averaging over 6 yards a carry. All right. Joe Milton has not
and that
looked
was
good.
and they didn't run the ball well against Utah either.
Yeah, and they
So
didn't run the ball. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Joe Milton, I've not been impressed. I've not been impressed at all. I get their defense has only let up 13 points in these first couple games, but like, come on. Like, we know who you really played. We know who you really played, right? And I'll give you this. Virginia's running backs, when they ran the ball with running backs, averaged over 5.5 yards a carry. That happened. Now, granted,
they got down in that for after that again the second half they just stopped running the ball, or they couldn't really afford to run the ball because they were down so much.
yeah. Now, if you look at the total stats of that game, right, because of Tony Muskett coming in there and getting sacked up a bajillion times. I shouldn't say bajillion times. It was quite a few times though. Well, obviously Florida's offense. This is gonna be the best offensive line that Tennessee's faced so far, for sure. Obviously, because it's just the best team that they've played so far. Defensively, I still have questions. For sure. It's can Tennessee figure it out? And also, look, in neither game have they gotten off to a hot start at all, right? And what happens when Joe Milton goes down in a game? I think he starts to try to do too much. I think he starts to do too much. So I think as long as Graham Mertz takes care of the football, which he has done up to this point, for the most part, he has taken care of the football. Give me Florida. Give me the points. Give me them to win. Let's go.
Wow. To be honest, I hope you're right because I was a guy that took the Tennessee under. And it does worry me right now that we've predicted 6 or 7 games right now, and I've taken the favorite in all of them. And I told you at the beginning of the show, this is not a week to sleep on. This is not a week where favorites are going to win all the time. And now I think in these particular games, I believe in my picks. I believe in them, obviously, but this game specifically, I have no feel in terms of I just had to make decisions, so I'm going to take Tennessee. But yeah, I think you're right for all the reasons you said. And don't forget that it's in a swamp too. Like,
Yes.
this is not an easy place to play at all. And I think Florida will be pumped up, and the fans will be. Obviously, I still think Tennessee has the talent to silence that crowd pretty quickly. But again, like you said, it's going to be a really good game for Joe Milton. He had a ton of hype coming into the year. The receiver core, obviously Tennessee as a whole, very highly power rated and rate rankings in the ACC or in the AP poll. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean,
yeah. Answer me though, why are they not pushing the ball down the field? Like, can the receivers not get separation? It's not like you've played any good
it
secondaries.
doesn't matter if they have separation. Like, it shouldn't matter. Now, obviously, no Jalen Hyatt, very good deep threat.
Brew McCoy, Squirrel White, Deontay Thornton. These are all incredibly good, proven receivers.
Yeah, and I'll say this, like, with Josh Heupel's scheme, it shouldn't really matter about the separation is through the scheme now, and obviously not to take anything away from Hyatt and Tillman and these wide receivers in these Tennessee offenses, but it should be there, obviously, and Florida's got some talent, obviously, but yeah, I just can't take it. I can't buy into Graham Mertz getting a big time win. I just haven't seen it yet. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong. I really do. But I'm going to go Tennessee in the points.